In today's Ask Me Anything, Jacardo asks kind of a long question about socialization, so I want to address this in a little bit longer video. Must socialization have to include allowing perfect strangers, children, or others to pet my dog? I mean, in other circumstances, you basically wouldn't warm up to people on the street who you don't connect with, or you're just being polite. I know socialization is an obvious requirement as a dog owner, but since getting my dog, I find myself in this weird predicament where even people who I don't know feel as though they feel obliged to come up because I'm walking my dog, so blah, 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 it goes on and on. So socializing your dog is a real finesse thing to do. You do want people to be able to touch your dog, handle your dog, and pet your dog, because you don't want your dog to have any negative experiences and therefore later be aggressive or assertive or suspicious or fearful, anything like that, of people. So when I get a young puppy, I want to get them socialized, but it's under a structured environment. In other words, I'm never going to introduce my dog to people that I don't think are safe, that I don't think are going to have my dog's best interest at heart, because if I do that, I'm setting my dog up for failure. So a lot of people will just let kids start playing with the dog, and the kid pokes the dog in the eye, and the dog gets freaked out, so later the dog has a suspicion or negative experience around children, and then ends up having issues with kids. We don't want that. So first thing you should do, your dog should always know you are the #1 resource. Keep tons of treats with you. Always hand feed the dog when you're out on walks. Make sure the dog is always looking back at you. If you know somebody who's safe with the dog, somebody who maybe has dogs or likes dogs or is good with dogs, let them meet the dog for a few minutes, pet, handle, touch the dog, and then take the dog away. Make sure the dog meets only safe other dogs. Make sure that you don't take the dog to a dog park and let the dog get bit. It's going to be a disaster. The dog's going to have a negative experience and either be fearful or dominant or aggressive or reactive towards other dogs. When other people, especially kids, handle the dog, make sure they've done it before. Make sure that the experience is a short one and a very positive one, and when that experience is over, you take your dog back to you and you give the dog abundant praise, abundant love, abundant affection, so he knows that the overwhelming positive experience is always going to be back with you. That's the best place to be. That's the happiest place to be. That's the most rewarding place to be. But yeah, the more people you can expose your dog to, the better it's going to be. So you should kind of look at it as part of your training to get the dog out. Now, that being said, you want to get the dog to experience different people. So this is something that people don't really address too often, but you know, sometimes dogs are very reactive to people in uniform, people of different colors, people of different sexes, different heights, and you know, children, older, younger people. Those are all things that make dogs suspicious. For example, if you don't get a dog around something like a cane, a wheelchair, one of those scooters or something like that, it's going to be a problem. If you can get your dog around people of different ethnicities, Hispanic people, black people, Indian people, Middle Eastern people, Asian people, all those are great experiences because you want your dog to understand that all these different things exist, and things look different, things smell different, and things move differently. So all these different things you have for your dog to experience are going to be a huge benefit for your dog later. If your dog is only raised with your family, they're not going to know anything outside of that family, and anything outside of that family will be suspicious to them, which makes the dog have to try to figure it out. When they're young puppies, they're really naive, and it's a great time to give them positive experiences. So men, women, children, people in uniform, tall people, short people, different people of different nationalities, ethnicities, different languages, so many different things. The more positive things you can expose your dog to, as well as different environments. Get your dog into the city, into the country, into a park, into a store, into a mall, into other people's homes, into your car, all these different things. It's all going to be positive experience you're going to build on to make your dog a better dog. So your question of must your dog meet every other person? No, they shouldn't. But I would make it a great experience and a great experiment in training to get this dog to meet as many different people as it can, to keep it super short, but control it. Don't just let your dog willy-nilly walk up to other people. Structure it up, say hi, oh, you want to say hi to my dog, have your dog sit, relax, look at you, and then give the person some treats, make it a positive experience. And children, be really careful with, because it's important they have positive experience with children, but you don't want children picking the dog up and dropping them on accident, or poking them in the eye, or yanking their tail, or anything like that. Try to get kids that have had good experience with dogs, because it'll be the best thing you do for your dog. Got a question? Ask me anything. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.